Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card for this reading is the Sun, which is always a well-invited archetype, isn't it? So let's see what kind of clarity we are getting from this one, from this cup of tea leaves. Okay. All right. So, interestingly, I'm going to get that tea off of there because it will inevitably change things around. Okay, so we have a person who is kind of standing there looking up at the sky. We have some clouds here. And so I look at this and I think we are in a place of really looking for signs, symbols, omens, synchronicities, and all of those things that we, at times are really drawn to. And I wonder if that is why you are watching one of these videos, one of these readings. You are looking for some kind of sign. And so we turn it over and it is a lamb who is laying here. And the lamb seems to be kind of almost in a dreaming posture, just falling asleep. And we see above, we have a heart. We have another little heart right here, just a bunch of little hearts, right? We also have, which looks like a moon, a little house, and a person entering the house, okay? So I feel that you are really, really focused on finding a place that feels like home, building a family that is close, and there's a lot of love in that family. This could be looking for a partner, looking for a spouse. This could be that you are looking for a physical home, where you would like to lay down roots. Maybe you are missing your family. Maybe everybody is kind of spread out all over the countries, in different continents, whatever it is. There is kind of a dwindling closeness, and you are dreaming of reuniting everybody back together, okay? And I feel like this is something that maybe is amplified because we are getting into the holiday season, and we all, even if we don't partake in any of the many holidays that are going on, it's hard not to get a little bit sentimental. And so I think that this really is kind of the work of the moment for you, is reaching out and establishing some of those deeper connections once more. This also could be that you are getting close to maybe forming a family. It could also be that you are in that dating phase. Whatever it is, I think that this is somewhere where you are really, really focused, okay? And I know that recently a lot of the readings have been more about career, creative, making resources, working on some of the blockages and such. But I really do. I think that this is one of the fundamental things in your life. You are a Gemini of some placement. And so I do think that your relationships with your loved ones are quite important to you. And so here we are, right? Excuse me. Okay, so we have a person who is, let's see if I can get this without, yeah, there we go. We have a person who is standing in the emotional zone, reaching up into the metaphysical there, okay? And so I feel like this is another place where, you are really, really focused is your spiritual affiliations, your spiritual work. I really feel like this is kind of a return to work that you've already established. And I think that part of this is that you are slowing down in the more maybe socializing, going out, the things that happen. If you're in the northern hemisphere, this makes more sense, I guess. The things that happen in the summer, in those nicer months, kind of slow down when it gets a little cooler. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe it does. Maybe it does slow down a little bit because it's so hot. I don't know. But, I think it's part of our natural, what is that called? Not circadian. It's just our natural changes in the seasons. We align with them. And so we do slow down a little bit during the winter. And so I think it really is a sense of looking inward a bit. And I see you really spending some time doing whatever it is that you do, whatever systems or interests you have in particular ritual or ceremony or practices. And I think that this is definitely not a bad thing. And it really does coincide, I think, with forming that deeper sense of home and family. These are things that really go hand in hand when we are working on that foundational piece of our life. Okay. Now we also have this phallic symbol here that is going from the emotional into the physical. And now this is not literal, but it is a sign of a fertile emotional state, and definitely a place where that agape, the love of the divine, the relationship with a higher power really is flowing for you. I think that you are really, I really feel, and I feel it feels almost overwhelming at times. I feel like you have all of this energy, you have all of this love, and almost bordering on moments of it being ecstatic, but you don't necessarily know where to put it. Okay, and I could see maybe trying to find some kind of creative medium, maybe something like intentional movement, dancing, postures. But I think, the biggest thing here is that I think often there's this conception that our daily lives are somehow separate from our spiritual lives or our spiritual constructs that we kind of we save a certain day for a Sabbath day, and we observe the Sabbath or whatever religious or spiritual function is happening for that day, for this time period. And all of that's important, but I think the really important place where I think a lot of us falter, and I myself do, is living a spiritual life in all that we do, finding ways to bring it into the subtle aspects of our day, in those quiet moments. We've gotten so much away from things like contemplation. And I think that I believe this wholly, that being able to sit and consider, to go over, to experience within our mind's eye the holy, the divine, the ineffable, the awe. This is far more moving and lasting and important than most other, so-called religious acts. This is not unlike prayer, right? And we know that prayer doesn't have to happen. Come over here. TT has showed up to say hello. Oh, you are very warm. You've been in your blanket, haven't you? You're like a little hot water bottle there. But, we know we can pray anywhere, right? Maybe some places it feels more potent, but ultimately we can pray everywhere. And so we can do other religious or spiritual, of course, things, exercises such as contemplation. And I think that this is something that is important because we all have access to it. There's nothing that has to be done except for a few moments to sit and consider, right? And so I think also we had talked about this dreaming state. A good way to contemplate spiritual motifs or things that are arising in our life is through really thinking about our dreams, right? Dream analysis. It doesn't have to be as formal as all of that, but this is a potent place for those abstractions that kind of come up, these subconscious things that really affect our lives, that are important. And so, this is another place where you might find, oh, please don't, Mama, come on. Thank you. You might find worth there. And it can be hard to just sit down. I know. Just sit down and think, oh, I'm going to contemplate something, the meaning of the universe, some kind of cosmology. Like, where do we come from? How did this all, whatever, the hierarchies of things, or the anti-hierarchies. So, I know those are big things, but where we can easily access that, some of these deeper places is through our dreams. What are we dreaming about? How do they make us feel? Where do they come from? What do these symbols in my dreams mean? A lot of it, we can trace back to the things we experience in our daily life, the things that we're feeling emotionally. But there are dreams, and there are moments within our dreams that profound things do come up, and we maybe want to just dismiss them for what they are on the surface. But I promise you that these are places where we're working out not only our individual experiences, but our potential, our collective psyche, consciousness, unconscious, and so on. So it is definitely a framework that is helpful to investigate. Okay. Now, we also have two people who look like they are kind of packed up and on the road walking together. And so there is movement here. And, dreaming of that home, of that place, of that connection. And I really do believe that this is here. This is something, if it is important to you, it is something that you will find, okay? And it will not be in the most conventional terms. Often it's not, but I think that there is a sense of companionship, of safety that you seek, and I feel that through this work you will find it, okay? And I really believe that where another thing that kind of trips us up, all of us collectively, and this is because we are very conditioned towards romantic love, amorous love, we can find very deep form of companionship and love in all kinds of things, in plants, in our animal family members, friends, in our creativity, our interior spaces. Okay, this is why I think things like active imagination are so helpful, especially when we're feeling lonely or that we are lacking the love or connection that we want in our physical world. When we can begin to experience this with our archetypes, with our beloved, with our guardian angel, with our ancestors, our elders, and we do that through techniques like active imagination that become more and more potent as we do them more often. These things are more likely, in my superstitious opinion, to manifest in our physical world. And so when we learn to love deeply in this interior place, when we learn to not only receive love but create love, so then it will manifest in the physical world. And so this is another thing to consider working with, okay? I know I talk a lot about love in my readings, and I think that's probably because I believe, and I am a romantic, that love is at the base of most things, right? This is one of the things that motivates us as beings, and again, romantic love is only one aspect of that, okay? But it really is the vessel that holds the creative sources for us. And so it is important. And I think that, we have this thought that we all innately know how to love and to be loved. Well, I think that's the furthest thing from the truth. It is like anything else. We must learn. We must learn. And we must unlearn the conditioning, the bad programming that happens when we are young. And it does so often. We have very, not just toxic, but just fundamentally, I shouldn't say silly, but they're ideas about how we treat one another, honor one another, how things come to be, how to create things that, are fairly absurd. Like anything else, we have to learn how to do these things. We have to investigate how it works for us, right? And that is a big project. It's not something that is easy. It's something that is ongoing, and it changes throughout your life. And this is something that we have to kind of, in a way, marry ourselves to this work. And and so it is. All right, so let's take a look here. And I'm sorry because I just can't seem to get over this cold that I have, and my voice starts to really feel, it really hurts. I'm just going to tell you the truth. My throat hurts and my voice hurts there. Okay, so we have a person who is walking. We have a bird overhead. Okay, so this is a connection of the higher thinking. Okay, this is the daydreaming. This is the place where we conceive beautiful ideas. Just really inventive, okay? And then over here, we have what looks like a beautiful flower that has sprouted and is beginning to bloom. It is opening up. And so, you know, this is a place of great introspection, but we also have, and I haven't talked a lot about this, the lunar card here, or not lunar, I'm sorry, the solar card here, the sun card. And this is a place of illumination, of the mysteries kind of being revealed. And, you know, all of those shadows that are cast are kind of gone. They're abolished. We have the sun in its highest point, so that there are no shadows, right? And so, you know, all of this work, it is important that we understand that it really does. It takes place in an internal dialogue. It takes place in our interior spaces, and it very rarely will just show up in our life and be kind of given to us. You know, so I look at this and I see we have, you know, it's joyful. There's a union of many things, and so much potential. We move beyond duality through the sun, and we get into that spectrum of the infinite. And so, you know, there's just a sense of profound movement here. Okay, you just have that thing that is alive inside of you, that is really moving you along. You know, it's like having, you know, as a pearl is created, the little piece of sand, it's irritating, right? Sometimes you wish, I don't want to think about this stuff. I don't want to feel like I have this greater purpose, or that there is something beyond what is right in front of me. You know, I'm tired. I just want to rest. I just want to, you know, kind of leisure in the muck of, you know, the Malkuthian world. And that's okay. You know, we all kind of feel that way. But unfortunately, you know, you can't hide from the sun. You just can't. So it is there, and you are illuminated, and you are awakened. And so you must do some kind of work. It's just how it be. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the Dreamer's Deck here, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. And I'm just going to flip through, and we're going to stop where it feels right, and we're going to read this together and see how this fits with the reading. It says, I know that a simple shift in perspective can change my reality. I am choosing joy. Okay, there you go. A simple shift. And it really is. It comes down to perspective. I know it's not, you know, anyways, this is my experience. In anything occult, spiritual, maybe a little bit in the higher learnings of some religions, it is really all about your perception of things. You know, widening our physical experience, yeah, it's important, but really ultimately it's about how much of a space traveler are you in your mind, right? How many things can you, you know, think of? Where can you go? Where are the limits? And really developing an ability to where, you know, it's very limited to feel like we live in a real world. This is real. I feel this table, so it must be real. This is a real experience. Versus in my mind, I am touching a table, but it's just an illusion. It's just something make-believe in my mind. It's not real. Well, as we dissolve the border of what that's real and this is not real, this is just a daydream, imagination, whatever, is when we start to dissolve some of those boundaries, right? We are left to so many realms to work within, to experience, to exist within, and that truly is the work of a magician, right? And so, perspective truly is everything. When they say that, I believe it. So, yes, I will say thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, the reading, it really helps the channel, and I appreciate you. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you would like to leave a comment, I read all of them. They mean so much to me. They truly do. And I love hearing from you all. So again, I thank you. We will talk again soon. Lots of love.